Welcome back. As we promised, we are going to tackle Sur Magra Al Uyun, or Old Cairo District. Old Cairo District is an amazing one, and it's time to renovate this place and to make it a touristic hub. And there is a will by the state to make this renovation and to turn this wonderful part of the capital into a source of attraction, not only to us to see more about our modern history, but also a source of attraction to tourists from all over the world to come and to witness our civilization, starting from the Giza Plateau to Old Cairo, and to shed more light on the inspection tour which took place by Prime Minister Dr. Mustafa Madbouli to follow up the pace of work in the renovation of this district and to shed more light on its history. We are very much delighted to have with us via phone Mr. Ihab Kamel, our historian and tourism expert. Hello, sir. A very good morning first.
Good morning to you.
Sir, I'd like first, before going into more details, to speak a little bit about the history of this place in Old Cairo, Sur Magra Al Uyun, and why it was named this way.
Well, it's considered to be a very important part of Cairo, as this was the main part of fortification of Cairo. So it's considered to be a very important part, as it shows the borders, the ancient borders of Cairo, and how it was like in the medieval period. Besides, it's also a witness on how Cairo was built, as we have an aqueduct on top that used to make the water reach the citadel and the rest of Cairo. So we're talking about a very important architectural element in the planning of medieval Cairo.
Yes, sir. And because of what you're saying, it's very important to maintain or to preserve the architectural touch or the architectural flavor of the place, to renovate it, but to keep it the same way. When I see it, I feel that I traveled back in history. Would you please elaborate on that?
Definitely, because Cairo had seen lots of changes in the 19th century. And as a matter of fact, lots of places and lots of history were lost during the modernization of Cairo. So this is a golden opportunity to retrieve back the medieval history of Cairo so that we would understand how Cairo was built, how it was planned, how big it was, how big was the population of Cairo. Besides, this part hosts a very important sightseeing area, which is Old Cairo, where we have one of the most ancient churches in the world, the place where Jesus Christ had stayed for more than 6 months, as well as one of the most ancient Jewish synagogues in the whole world.
Yes, sir.
We can talk for a very long time about this.
Yeah. And so, after this renovation, do you think that this district is going to change, or at least to enrich the touristic map of the capital of Cairo? This is going to be a source of attraction, as I said in my intro, not only to us to see more about our modern history and how our capital was built, but also to foreigners, to tourists coming from all over the world?
Yes, by all means, because we want to make Cairo a proper historical capital. This term, historical capital, is not an easy thing to achieve.
Yes.
And this area had been neglected for some time. We had focused only on the ancient Egyptian part, bearing in mind that the ancient Egyptian history has got a big variety of historical incidents and historical periods. So we need to focus on all of that to complete the puzzle and make a big picture for our historical capital.
You know, sir, one of our dreams to find students, school trips going to such places after the renovation works are finished. And by this is going to be a life lesson in history. And at the same time, they are going to really feel a sense of pride and sense of belonging also to our country, to know how our civilization went back for years and years in history, not only, with all my respect, of course, to the pharaonic era or to the pharaonic civilization, but moving through, we do have other very rich eras in our history. How do you see this, or how this should be taken into consideration?
Well, before focusing on school trips, we have to focus on what our children study as history. We have to make them proud of their own history, proud of their own country, and to understand that their history and their heritage is so authentic, to make them proud of it, to make them proud that they are Egyptians.
Yes.
When this happens, we need to make them see what they had been studying about. And more, and over and above, their teachers have got to be qualified to teach them that history without any additions or any biased points of view. They have to understand the history itself, and they have to understand that Egypt is a unique mixture which no other country in the world has. Really, I'm not saying this because I am Egyptian, but it's true. You will never find in any other country this kind of history, this kind of mixed cultures, mixed history in any other countries, but here.
I am always saying about Egypt as the melting pot, where all these civilizations were mixed here, but we do keep our Egyptian identity. Sir, give us a one-day trip. For example, if I do have a group of tourists and I want to have a one-day trip for them, taking them to Old Cairo, how many places we can go to? I mean, of course, after this renovation works, to Al Mu'izz Street, for example, to Sur Magra Al Uyun, where to go to enjoy a full day in Old Cairo?
Well, we definitely will start from the oldest to the more recent. So we'll start by Old Cairo, visiting the St. Sergius Church, which hosts the Holy Crypt where Jesus Christ had stayed, the synagogue of Rabbi Abraham ben Ezra, which is one of the most ancient and unique synagogues in the whole world. Then after that, we would go to Magra Al Uyun to see how architects in the medieval period had succeeded in building a modern, well-fortified city, ending up with the citadel of Saladin, because that's where this fortification ends, and to have a picture about how Cairo was in the medieval period. Then we end up by Al Mu'izz Street or Mamluk Cairo. Al Mu'izz Street, Darb Al Ahmar, Gamaliya, to see the beautiful architecture of the Mamluk period and to understand the philosophy of the construction of these beautiful buildings to understand how well educated the Egyptians were in the medieval period.
Yeah. Sir, we are speaking about the wall of Magra al-Uyun as a wonderful part of Old Cairo and the renovation works there, but we cannot miss speaking about the other activities or other national projects which are executed even as we speak by the Ministry of Antiquities and Tourism. We are speaking about more excavations in Saqqara. We are speaking about the gym which is going to be inaugurated in just a few months to come with the renovation works in Old Cairo. How do you see going in parallel? I mean, no project is taking the whole interest or the whole care, for example. No, we are going into all directions in the very same time to change the whole historic map of Egypt and of Cairo. How do you see this? And if I am going to have priorities, do we have priorities, or all these projects should go together hand in hand?
Definitely, they have to go on parallel. But I can say one thing, that Cairo and Egypt is retrieving back its youth. You cannot judge a country without judging its culture and its heritage. And the country that gives a great deal of interest to its heritage and to its culture, this is a country that deserves the respect of the whole world. The whole world is looking at us nowadays. Return back in time 20, 30 years ago. All the excavations were done by, or most of them, by foreign expeditions. World press were taking their information from foreign expeditions. For the first time, we have Egyptian archaeologists who are the source of information to the international media. The name of Egypt is mentioned positively with a great deal of respect. So this is an outstanding achievement for those who are taking care of our heritage and our culture.
Mr. Ihab Kamel, our historian and tourism expert, thank you very much for your input, sir, and have a very good day. And by this, we come to the end of our breakfast show today. Tomorrow is another episode and another crew, but till then, stay tuned on Nile TV International. Always for more updates and for more details, please log on to www.nileinternational.net. You were in the company of my dear colleague Hala Hamalawi and myself, Nermeen Abdurrahman. Many thanks for watching, and it's goodbye for now.